My name is Apollo Levine. I play Rob and Joe Jackson. I auditioned in November of 2018. I was in the February 2019 workshop. As I started out, I was the original Quincy Tito. I always laughed because I don't think before I joined the show, the role hadn't been put together, and then they put those roles together. And I remember the first time they asked me to sing Keep the Faith, and I was like, oh, it's gonna get cut. Nobody knows this song is gonna, but not only did it not get cut, it got reprised in the second act. And when I took over the Rob Joe role, it ended up following me. And so one of the lessons that I've learned is like, keep the faith. It really is not just like a song just to sing, but it really is like a mantra and a testimony. If you do that, you know, the wonderful things that can come out of something that you never even expected to come into your life in the first place.
When I walked in here the first time, white walls and everything else, and I didn't think that I didn't know what the show was gonna do, so I didn't think I was gonna be here that long. I thought I was gonna move back to LA or back down to Atlanta, and here we are like 5 years later, I'm still here, and I think it took it like the third year of me saying, you know what, it's time to transform the space. And what I love is I love home decor, I love design. My family is really, really big for me, and so my mom and my dad, they sit on the wall and I'm looking at them, you know, on a daily basis. I made this kind of into my dressing room. This is where I do a lot of my business stuff, but also my voiceover stuff. I have a ring light over there, so a lot of my self-tapes, because we do a lot of them now, but a lot of my self-tapes, everything kind of happens from this corner. It kind of starts from this corner. So I try to, around like 3 or 4, shut everything else down and trying to get myself together, because sometimes it's already hard throughout the day and the obstacles of New York City and everything else. I try to give myself time to kind of breathe, get the dog together, get myself together, and then get out of here and try to get to the theater on time, because I have to be there earlier because of Fight Call.
The year that I joined the show, we did the February workshop, we did the September workshop. My oldest sister passed that year, so December, Christmas Eve of that year. And I remember when they first made the announcement, I was like, oh my gosh, this is really, really happening. I called my mom and I said, hey, just pray for me. This is really happening. And we got back into the rehearsal. The day that we came into rehearsal out of the pandemic, my sister called me and said, Mom is in the hospital. And I lost my mom 2 days into rehearsal coming back to Broadway. And then last Christmas, I lost my dad. And I still showed up to work. But one of the things that I really, really appreciate about being in this particular family is that it held me down through something that I never thought that I would get through. And so it has grown me as an actor in so many ways, but it is also just taught me about community and family and resilience. But I'm so grateful. That is my gratitude to God and to the universe for giving me something that allowed me to grow and I'm able to glean from, and despite everything else that was going on in my life. So I will say one of the things that my parents always instilled and taught me was leave it better than what you found it. And hopefully, as whenever I do decide to leave or depart, and I pray that the show runs forever and that a million other kids get their Broadway debuts, that I've set a standard. And I don't want anybody to follow in my footsteps. I actually want them to make their own, but I've set a standard to feel and to walk like a path that you can get there a little bit easier, but even be bigger and better.